welcome to the Blancpain GT Series Asia. I'm Renai Matu and we are here at Fuji International Speedway in Japan for round 7 and 8 of the championship. The guys are all ready to get out there on the grid today. It's one of these tracks that lots and lots of drivers want to tick off their bucket list. I know they're excited to get out there. Now the GT3 and GT4 categories are both being raced. In GT3, Hunter Abbott leads the championship, very close behind Marchi Lee with 8 points, very tight at the top of the top 3 teams. And in GT4, only 6 points separates the top 3 teams. Something very interesting about GT4, we've only seen the Porsche Cayman so far. This race, we see the McLaren joining from Clearwater Racing. I'm joined in the commentary booth by David Addison. David, what can we expect from this weekend?
You can expect fierce fights right the way across the order, because GT3 and GT4 both boast their biggest grids yet in the history of Blancpain GT Series Asia. We have 34 cars here this weekend. As you say, we've got the new McLaren 570S within GT4, but we've got a lot more in GT3 as well, with a number of Japanese teams. So let's go to the grid, because with Renai is the architect of GT3 success, Stefan Rattel.
Okay, I'm talking to the man himself. Stefan, we saw you at the beginning of the season and already a full grid, but now a record 34 cars.
Yes, the series is growing fast and it's really good, and I can see many different manufacturers on the first rows, so it shows the level of competitiveness. I think we had 15 or 16 cars in the same second, so it's going to be a very exciting race, and it's very nice to be here in Japan, and Fuji is an amazing circuit. No, we're very happy.
Incredible circuit to be at. We got lots of Japanese drivers, 5 teams, 13 drivers. I mean, it's great to see the Asian drivers coming through.
Yeah, there is a very good combination and diversity of Asian drivers coming from all Asian countries into the series, and we hope it's going to continue to grow on this basis.
Okay, have a great weekend. Thank you very much, Stefan.
Thank you very much.
Back to you in commentary.
There's Stefan Rattel, strides to the front of the grid to oversee this, as we say, record for Blancpain GT Series Asia grid. 34 cars, and third on the grid is Kai Cozzolino, who's already had a win. He won the Lamborghini Super Trofeo Asia race, and the Car Guy Racing Lamborghini will line up third on the grid, and Kai Cozzolino will be a man to watch.
Okay, Kai Cozzolino, we've seen you very busy today. You already won a race. What can we expect from you in this one?
I'm only thinking about winning, because for Lamborghini, we are the number 1. We have an Audi and a Porsche in front, but I know we are fast. It's just a matter that this is my home track. I'm so confident, even more confident than I was in Suzuka. So I think the start is going to be the most critical. And once we can get everybody out of the way, I think our race pace is the winning pace. So just the start, all about it.
So we're looking for a really good start. Good luck today.
Thank you.
Back to you in commentary.
The circuit has this very long, nearly a mile long pit straight down to a tight hairpin at first, as the corner is called. There's a kink at turn 2. In the green sector, the middle sector, that long sweeping right is the infamous 100R, which takes you down to the hairpin. And then you start sector 3 with a tight right at Dunlop. Then there's a little chicane, short straight, and a sequence of hairpins, the last of which, Panasonic, brings you back uphill onto that pit straight. So get it wrong there and you are a sitting duck up towards the timing line. So the grid is just about cleared, and are we going to see another Group M Mercedes win for Hunter Abbott, or are we going to see him bank points? Are we going to have another different winning driver combination, or indeed Brand to take a win? They will form back up on the pit straight, ready for the start of the race, and the rolling start then will commence. So it's up to Nick Foster as the pole man to control the pace once the safety car peels in. He lines up alongside number 5, Marchi Lee, Porsche and Audi at the front. The second row of the grid is Lamborghini and Ferrari, Kai Cozzolino alongside Rino Mastronardi, and then you've got the Porsche of Naoya Yamano and Martin Kodrich in the Lamborghini. Row 4 is the Mercedes of the championship leader, Hunter Abbott, number 999, and lining up alongside him is the sister car of team principal Tim Sugden in 888. The fifth row of the grid is where you find 86, Aditya Patel's Audi, and 37, Anthony Liu, who's had 1 win this year, Anthony Liu with Davide Rizzo back at Sepang. The 6th row is Xinjiang, Spirit of Race Ferrari, and Hiroaki Nagai with the ARN Ferrari. The 7th row of the grid, number 1, Lamborghini, Alberto Di Folco, number 7, Audi, Jeffrey Lee. The 8th row is number 47, Satoshi Ashino, and number 6, Audi of Alex Au, ahead of Jesse Krohn with the BMW, Jesse Suzuki to give him his real name, and Peter Lee in the Porsche alongside. Then it's Andrew Harrianto and Naota Takeda, ahead of Rick Yun and Philip Ma in number 98, the Arrows Racing Porsche. On the 12th row, 69 is the Aston Martin returning to the championship to start 23rd with James Kye at the wheel. And then it is Makio Saito in the number 390 S-Access Racing Lamborghini ahead of Junsan Chen's BMW, and Gregory Tio in number 75, which is the next of the Ferraris on the grid. Jingzhu Sun, number 13, and Junsan Zhu with the Lamborghini come next, ahead of Richard Wee and Kyo Chang. McLaren alongside Porsche, ahead of Frank Yu and Kan Zhang, Porsches both. And the back row should be Terence Tsay and Byron Tong, again in Porsche Caymans. That then is how the grid should line up. And they will get themselves in a moment into the rolling start formation, ready for 60 minutes of racing for round 7. So to the line they come, and are we going to be good for a start to get the race underway? They've done a lap unofficially, and we do go green. The race is go, and a good start is going to be made from the outside of the front row then there by Marchini to try to get his nose in front of Nick Foster in the Porsche as they dive down towards first for the first time. But round the outside of all of them comes Rino Mastronardi, but then he runs out of road. They're 3 wide for second place. The Porsche gets muscled out wide. Nick Foster is off the road, and that's going to change the whole complexion of the order because Nick Foster's Porsche finds all the dirt and the water and everything on the outside of the road. So Kai Cozzolino leads the way, and it is going to be a Lamborghini 1-2 as they sweep through for the first time. 66 goes second, then Martin Kodrich in the Vincenzo Sospiri car, and then third is Hunter Abbott in 999 Mercedes, trying to gain track position, and right up with him as well now in the white Porsche number 3, look, is Naoya Yamada, who goes round the outside there to try and get himself up ahead of the next of the Lamborghinis, and just gets his nose in front. But Cozzolino, having had a win already in the Lamborghini race earlier, is away and gone, benefiting from that 3 wide situation into the first corner that was never going to work. And not only out of all of that has Nick Foster dropped back, he's got a whole intaker there of grass at the front of the car, which is going to make the car overheat. The other one, Rino Mastronardi, lost ground in that as well. So you've got 2 of the big scalps here with work to do as the cars work their way up towards the end of lap number 1, heading uphill. And is that a car with damage? Does Marchi Lee's Audi possibly have some front damage? Has it got a puncture? The Aston Martin goes off the road, and Hunter Abbott goes off the road as well, coming uphill, hidden behind them, banking for a moment. He's back on the circuit. So big drama, corner by corner by corner, and the order is very jumbled indeed at the end of that one, which will be led over the timing line by Kai Cozzolino in the number 777 Lamborghini. The car guy racing car leads. There it is, the bright yellow highlighter pan up the road ahead. In second place coming through should be the Lamborghini of Martin Kodrich. Then it's the Porsche of Yamano. 4th is Alberto Di Folco in number 1 Lamborghini. 5th is Hunter Abbott. 6th now in 37 is Anthony Liu, and then for 7th place it is Satoshi Nagai. 8th is Jesse Crow. 9th is Nick Foster, and 10th is Tim Sugden as the cars turn through turn 1. So let's have another look at what kicked off at the start. We had Hunter Abbott running a little bit wide coming up the hill, ran out of road, and there he is getting back on, and behind, look, spinning Audi, that is Aditya Patel. Everybody darts around him, but that made the circuit very narrow indeed on the inside. Right, 37 here, Anthony Liu ahead of 999 of Hunter Abbott as the cars thread their way into turn 8, up towards Dunlop. Hunter Abbott goes to the outside of the Audi there. Winners at the start of the year, Lou and Rizzo in the Ferrari, crashed that, came back with an Audi and keeping the Mercedes at bay. Hunter Abbott kicking himself for running wide and losing ground and losing track position. The championship leader then is on a mission, Maxi Book to take over. And Hunter Abbott, former British GT racer, British touring car racer, coming back into GT racing this year and going very strongly indeed. Championship leader, which perhaps not many people would have predicted pre-season. So up towards the end of the lap, Kai Cozzolino led at the end of lap 2, the first proper racing lap, by 1.7 seconds, helped by all the dramas going on at first. The first corner on the lap, as here over the timing line shortly will come Anthony Liu with Hunter Abbott behind him. And here is Cozzolino, who turns then now into Dunlop through the right, then the left and the right chicane of 11 and 12 down towards 13th as the corner is called. But Kai Cozzolino breaking away from the rest of them. He led at the end of lap 3 by 1.6 seconds. Martin Kodrich going after him. Kodrich, the very rapid ex-single-seater racer who's come into GT racing via the Lamborghini Super Trofeo that drove in Formula Renault NEC and the Toyota Racing Series prior to that. He's had a couple of 8th places this year, Martin Kodrich, as his best results. As here, up towards the timing line, comes the leader. Kai Cozzolino will go through. Kodrich chasing after him. And is that gap coming down? Let's see. It was 1.6 seconds last time. The leaders come by, and 1.6 is now 2 seconds. So, in other words, Cozzolino is getting away. There's the Aston Martin of James Kye back on track. After its little skirmish earlier on, the Aston Martin Vantage making a welcome return to the championship as the leaders dive down towards turn 1. There's 37, Anthony Liu in 5th place. The fastest lap of the race is now being done by the Porsche 88 of Nick Foster, recovering after being forced to go rally crossing at the start. Nick Foster is into 7th place. The Mercedes then heading down to Dunlop, being chased by the Ferrari number 28. Hiroaki Nagai brakes late going into Dunlop, closes the gap a little bit to Hunter Abbott in the Mercedes here. Uphill they climb. This is turn 13. And then 14 and 15 linked together to make the corner known as nets. Further back, Tim Sugden having a go to get past Jesse Krohn, and that's Hunter Abbott getting it a little bit wrong at the first corner, and that lets Nagai get up and past him. The Ferrari goes through, and that's the change for 7th place. If you brake late and run wide at the first hairpin, then you're in all sorts of strife. Sometimes you can pull it back, not always. Nagai goes through. Race order on the screen as you look at Aditya Patel trying to fight back in 86 Audi up the inside, and he goes through, getting himself now up ahead of 75, which he started in the first race of the weekend by Gregory Teo. David Chipchump-Montaro will drive tomorrow's opening stint. Yun-San Chen goes through. That car currently running number 90 in 15th place. In the second session, Devon Modell was 18th in GT3, so it does suggest there's a disparity of pace. As another car heads for the pit lane, number 19 showing damage. That is Naota Takeda in the Audi. That looks like either a puncture and or bodywork against tyre, doesn't it? Down the pit lane he comes. And this, of course, not a scheduled pit stop, not within the pit window. It is a puncture, isn't it? Yes. And lower down here is the battle for 16th. Yun-San Chen versus Jeffrey Lee, BMW against Audi. The Audi is on a mission, isn't it, as it comes downhill. And Jeffrey Lee, who started 14th on the grid, makes a move, was committed to that. Yun-San Chen tried to turn in, realised there was a car alongside and very quickly backed out of it, which was a good job because otherwise there would have been contact. They survived, but the BMW drops a spot and Jeffrey Lee goes then up now. So the advantage now over the Yamano Porsche is 7 seconds. Does Cozzolino come in this time and give way to Naoki Yokomitsu? He does. He's the correct side of the white line, so the leader is in almost at the halfway point. Down the pit road comes Cozzolino then now. Gets to the pit in line, slows the speed, which is 60 kilometres an hour. The two leading cars come into the pit lane, so the Porsches are in, Yamano and Foster both in together. Now the pit window has closed. As long as you're in before the window closes, then that is fine, but if you're not in now, then a penalty will come. Everybody has been in as far as I know. Maxi Book 999 has arrived in an emergency on the back of the Porsches here, looking to try to find a way through as they sprint their way up the hill here.
I put it all in the start. I knew it because, you know, with these GT3 cars, if you have a car in front of you, you don't get the downforce you need and then you lose grip. So I just put everything in the start. I knew it, if I had a clear lap, I could just pull it off, and I did it. So I think we got the fastest lap too. We have 20 minutes left. We're still leading. So my teammate is doing a great job right now.
The one car that we've not really seen very much of is the Frank Yu Jean-Marc Merlin Craft Bamboo racing car, which has taken 3 wins already this year. 89 dives up the inside to gain a place, so Ringo Chong passes there on the inside. That puts Jeremy Wang down a spot, and Wang now has got Eric Lowe chasing after him as well, trying to find a way through in the blue and grey car. They're also trying to be avoided by the recovering number 19 Audi. That's quite a long way down the order after its puncture earlier on in the race. And look at this, we've got cars all over the place, including Davide Rizzo in 37. There is Joachim Kowiak's Mercedes getting through the traffic. Further up the road is Maxi Book. Further up the road also, having just lost a place, is Sasaki. And Book gets boxed in behind Ringo Chong there, goes to the outside line, tries to get past the Audi if he can. Can't quite make it stick. Sasaki runs way wide off the road and back on again up towards Panasonic. Here comes Book up the inside line. Through he goes. Very decisive move, and Maximilian Buch all the while here gaining points for Hunter Abbott in the championship. Goes through and gains a place. Here is the gun for hire and delivering in style. Hunter Abbott is no slouch either. Although they run in the AM category, Hunter has done many a mile. Radicals, Ginettas, British GT, British touring cars. And although he hates it being mentioned, I'm sure, he had a rather spectacular accident at Alton Park in British GT and at Snetterton in touring cars in the Power Mac Chevrolet last year. But in GT racing this year, he's showing people exactly what he's able to do and delivering in style. And there's the GT4 leading McLaren, the 570S. It's now got Mok Wang Sun at the wheel of it. And the Sunseeker backed car looking very striking indeed. Clearwater has always done good, spectacular colour schemes. The silver GT3 McLaren that we saw back briefly at the start of the year was another one. And what's going to be interesting is to see how many of these teams come and do the Sepang 12 hours at the end of the season. It's not, there is the leading car, and it's now got a back marker, two back markers in fact between it and Devon Modell's Porsche. Looked at this car, which he was behind the wheel of for the first half of the race, and now he's had to sit and watch. He's well versed in that, given the amount of endurance racing and two-driver races that he does. Maximilian Buch still pushing on to close onto the back of Devon Modell. Are we going to see that battle come alive on the last lap? It's almost there, isn't it? The Lamborghini, which has been able to reduce its pace and perhaps look after the rubber, comes up now toward Panasonic into the hairpin. Up towards the timing line comes Treble 7, and onto the last lap of the race then will come for a first Blancpain GT Series Asia win, seemingly, Naoki Yokomitsu. He's got, as I say, a lap to run as he comes through now to start the final lap. Now look in the background, where is Devon Modell, where is Maximilian Buch? They're nose to tail, they come over the timing line together, and are we going to see a dive made at the first corner? The final lap board is shown to everybody as they come across the line. Maximilian Buch pushes on, inching up onto the back of Modell, but he was a little bit down in the first sector, so he's running out of options, running out of time. As set for the race win, it's going to be Keiko Tsullino and Naoki Yokomitsu. Here is the car guy Lamborghini. A very impressive drive by both of them, by Cozzolino to put the car into the lead at the start of the race, and then by Yokomitsu to bring it home. 2 corners to go. Turns now through nets, climbs the hill. 1 corner to go into Panasonic. Turn 16 awaits, and then the run up towards the line. Behind, the gap is coming down for second place. Can the Mercedes get a good run out of the hairpin? Look how close they are. They've all bunched up, but just with enough of a margin. It's going to be the Lamborghini to win, as up towards the timing line comes Naoki Yokomitsu along with Keiko Tsullino to win round 7 of the Blancpain GT Series Asia. A delighted team cheers home the car. It's a win then for 777 Lamborghini. Second is Devon Modell, only just, with Maxi Buch finishing in 3rd. And then 4th will go the way of number 66 Lamborghini, Sandy Stuvik. 5th should be Jules Szymkowiak.
Some very happy drivers. What was that? Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And Kay, it must be your lucky day, seriously.
We won! Number 1! That's all I have to say.
Well, it's the first time the Lamborghini's been on the podium.
Yes, first time. You know what? I know it's Lamborghini first time, but it's all thanks to him. He is the car guy, the owner. He believed in us.
Yeah.
He made us, we practiced a lot because of him. So really, we were so prepared. It's all thanks to him, Mr. Kimura.
More practice, machine trouble, more practice.
We will practice more.
But very, very fast, drive up very, very fast.
Yeah.
Okay, fast drives. Congratulations. Enjoy that win.
Thank you.
So it is a win for Naoki Yokomitsu and Keiko Tsullino from Devon Modell and Nick Foster, with Maxi Buch and Hunter Abbott 3rd. Sandy Stuvik and Martin Kodrich bagged 4th, ahead of Jules Szymkowiak and Tim Sugden, Davide Rizzo and Anthony Liu 6th. And have a look further down, because after the GT4 winning McLaren, which came home in 23rd place, the Porsche contingent through 24th, 25th, 26th, finally a different brand wins in GT4, and the Porsches have just had a wake-up call. Hunter Abbott and Maxi Buch are there. Devon Modell and Nick Foster are on the 2nd step, and out leap 2 happy Lamborghini drivers. Keiko Tsullino and Naoki Yokomitsu win round 7 of the Blancpain GT Series Asia, part of the Fuji Champion Race Series weekend here. The trophy is handed over by Pirelli, and it is Ken Gokita from Pirelli Tyres who will present the trophies to Maxi and Hunter, then to Devon Modell, the British driver, and Nick Foster, the Australian. So 2 Brits on the podium. And then Keiko Zolino and Naoki Yokomitsu as the race winners. For the drivers and the teams that take part in the full season, there are cheques to be presented. $2,500 for third, $5,000 for second, and Stefan Rattel is the man who has been handing over the money. And so now the drivers have the champagne at their feet. And is Keiko Zolino going to spray, or is he going to save and drink? Oh no, he's going to spray, because he is a very happy man indeed.
The weather was perfect and the driving was fantastic. Can't wait to do it all again, which is just tomorrow. Check listings for times in your area and we'll see you then. Goodbye. Right here, Fuji International Speedway, one of those iconic tracks that everyone wants to race at, and they've had a taste of it for round 7 yesterday. Round 8 all ready to get started. Now there's 34 cars here, a record in the championship, and 5 teams coming from this place, Japan, land of the rising sun. And they represented yesterday. We had Keiko Zolino and his teammate Yokomitsu coming through for the win in GT3, and that was also the first time the Lamborghini has featured on the top of the podium. GT4 category also incredibly exciting. Now I'm going to chase down some of those drivers. I'm Renai Matu, I'm excited to be here, and I'm joined, by the way, with David Asden in commentary. David, what can we expect?
A wide open race, Renai, a fabulous grid, a quality entry, and we are approaching the start of the 5-minute countdown, at which point the grid will start to empty, then engines will fire, then we'll get the green flag, the rolling start lap underway, and then a 1-hour sprint. People still think about GT racing as endurance races, but it is absolutely flat out from the word go. And the grid is very busy indeed, not only in terms of cars, but drivers, where you've got 2 per car, with the exception of 1. Andrew Harrianto goes solo. You've got all the teams down there with the extra equipment needed, and also in the midst of all of that, just walking up the grid, you can spot Stefan Rattel, the architect of the global success of GT3 racing. You've got GT4 as well, which is getting stronger and stronger all the time. It used to be the domain of privateers running their own cars and trying to coax a manufacturer into interest, but what you actually now have are more and more manufacturers getting involved. So Porsche is here with the Cayman GT4, McLaren is here with the 570S, and that was the winning car in GT4 yesterday. But Keiko Zolino was the winner outright yesterday in GT3. Can he do it again today?
Okay, Kay, we saw you on top of the podium yesterday. What can we expect from you today?
Well, we're starting position 17. I was hoping for rain. Fortunately, it's sunny. But if we have a chance, we will try to go for podium. I think I'm very lucky this week. Somehow someone up there is really giving me this luck. So I hope something happens up front that we can gain a lot of positions and aim for podium.
All the best today. We've seen some incredible racing from you. Good luck. Back to you, David.
Pole position to the Ferrari of Max Weiser, lining up alongside Hunter Abbott's car. Maximilian Buch is the start driver in 999. Third on the grid, Alex Young, and lining up alongside him is Kota Sasaki. Then you've got Sean Tong and Alessio Picciarello on the third row, ahead of Jules Chim-Kodiak and Rui Aguas. Row 5 is Mitch Gilbert with Saijiara's Porsche lining up alongside number 47. Behind them on the 6th row, number 99, the Porsche of Darrell O'Young, and alongside him is Martin Rump's Audi. The 7th row of the grid has Yuya Sakamoto, starting in number 3 Porsche, Frankie Cheng alongside in his Audi. Then on the 8th row, 66, Lamborghini of Sandy Stuvik that went well yesterday. Frankie Cheng is alongside him. Then it is yesterday's winner, Naoki Yokomitsu, and Devon Modell, who was second in yesterday's race, lining up alongside. Row 10 is Takuya Shirosaka with Aidan Reid alongside him. The 11th row is Yuki Orata starting in the S-Access Racing Lamborghini. Shinichi Takagi alongside. The 12th row, Andrew Harrianto lines up alongside Sean Walkinshaw's BMW. The 13th row, Kenneth Lim in the Aston Martin. Alongside him is David Chipto-Biantero's Ferrari. The 14th row, Yu Lin's Lamborghini, Jackie Young's Porsche. The 15th row of the grid, Wok Sen Mun in the GT4 pole, and indeed yesterday race-winning McLaren. Alongside him is Eric Lowe. You're all into Porsche Caymans by now. 16th row, Jean-Marc Merlin penalised yesterday. Stop-go penalty cost him, and he lines up alongside Ringo Chong, and they're ahead of Jeremy Wang and Tony Fong at the very back of the grid. Tony Fong having been out in a Mini earlier on in the day. Round 8 of the Blancpain GT Series Asia is about to get underway. The cars work their way up towards the timing line. Only if the race director is happy will he flick the lights to green. The pace car peels in. There are 1 or 2 drivers just dodging out to the side, trying to get a bit of a view of the straight ahead of them. And are we going to be good to go? The pace quickens, the lights go green, we're racing, and a good getaway is made by Alex Young from the second row of the grid. He comes up alongside Max Weiser, but Maxi Buch from the outside of the front row grabs the lead as they head down towards turn 1. They're 3, 4, 5 wide almost in the mid-pack. It's Mercedes ahead, and then it's everybody else trying to be second. So AGR's Porsche has made a good start, the green 911, and run out wide by the look of it is Rui Aguas, just like yesterday. Today, though, he avoids any drama. The car keeps going. It was Mastronardi at the wheel yesterday when it was forced wide. Aguas today. And now game on for the race leaders. Max Weiser challenges Maxi Buch on the run up towards 100R for the first time of asking. The Ferrari goes out wide and the Mercedes has the advantage, but only just. It's Alex Young running in 3rd place. In 4th, looks like Sean Tong's Audi. So the Malaysian 3rd. The Hong Kong driver is 4th. And then 5th, it is Jules Szymkowiak in the 2nd Group M Mercedes. Let's look at the start once more. Good getaway by Alex Young from the 2nd row. Went for a gap in the middle, but all that grunt of the Mercedes just drags it along at the pit straight. And Maxi Buch is able to cut across, take the lead, take the line, brake hard, swing into the right-hander, and look at Rui Aguas being forced out wide. So he runs down the order as a consequence. In fact, he's off the road over the curb as a consequence, and that puts him to the bottom end of the top 10. So the race currently developing into a battle between Maxi Buch and Max Weiser. And Weiser giving it everything as they went through 100R. End of lap 1. Here they come. Mercedes, Ferrari, Audi, Mercedes, Ferrari. The leading Porsche is 8th in the hands of Saygiara. But at the end of lap 1, as predicted, Maximilian Buch it is who leads the way. He's helping Hunter Abbott to try and win a championship here because Hunter, the regular driver of that car, twice a winner, once with Maxi Buch, once with Maxi Goetz, over the line. The championship leader, Hunter Abbott, watching from the pit lane. Buch leading Weiser, who retired early yesterday, never got in the car. In fact, he was denied a drive because early damage put it out. But it is 2nd and right on the tail of the Mercedes as they round 1st and drop down the hill there. They're bunching up for the race lead. Buch, surprisingly, is not getting away. His pace yesterday was very impressive indeed, but at the moment, the Ferrari's keeping him honest. Heading up towards 100R, then now look back for 3rd, where it is Young. 4th is Tong. 5th, Szymkowiak. 6th is Kota Sasaki. 7th is Alessio Picariello. In 8th place is Saygiara. 9th is the Australian Mitch Gilbert. And then 10th is Darilo Young. And so Rui Aguas, that was run out wide at the first corner, he did start 8th, so it was a very demon getaway, and then he ran out of road when he's dropped down into 11th place. The 2 leaders now just starting to gap the rest as they come into Dunlop for the 2nd time. You've also got to think when you get to the pit window, which is between 25 and 35 minutes, about the regulation pit stop times and also the fact that other cars from yesterday's successes have longer pit stops. So you've got 95 seconds for the GT3 cars pit stops, but the leading car here, which was 3rd yesterday, gets a 5-second delay in the pits. 88 Porsche with Devon Modell at the wheel of it, and that is way back in 22nd. 2nd yesterday, that gets 7 seconds, and yesterday's winning Lamborghini 17th at the moment, that gets 10 seconds. We've got already Tony Fong's Porsche in the pit lane, so dramas at the end of the opening lap for that car bringing it in. But now Jules Szymkowiak under attack from Kota Sasaki, and if anything, now the Ferrari look has dropped away ever so slightly. Szymkowiak goes defensive there to keep the Ferrari at bay. Through they turn, and as they come out of Dunlop, nose to tail, behind them you've got number 7 of Alessio Picariello, who has been the pole sitter this year, but he's not yet been a race winner. He's a quick driver, Alessio Picariello. And you'll see in a moment there the silver and blue Audi in the background. That car being run by the Absolute Racing squad. And this long line of desirable multi-million euro supercars now comes through 16 as Sasaki goes defensive there to keep at bay Picariello. There's the race leader. Buch leads the way. Weiser is 2nd. Young 3rd. Gap back. 4th is Tong. 5th, Szymkowiak. 6th is Sasaki. 7th is Picariello. In 8th place was Ara, but it's now there. Aguas up the inside, and he goes through. The Ferrari then, number 38, up into 8th place. Rui Aguas, the Portuguese driver, GT champion at the wheel of it. Saygiara, Le Mans winner, drops to 9th. And then 10th, the OD Racing Audi, Mitch Gilbert at the wheel. He's ahead of Darilo Young's yellow Porsche, who's ahead of Frankie Cheng's blue Audi. The race leaders then plunge down towards Dunlop. And it is now starting to develop into a 3-way fight for the race lead. Alex Young staying on the back of Massimiliano Weisser, who is on the back of Maximilian Buch. There's Sean Tong's spectacular Audi, the silver and gold car, run by the Phoenix team ahead of the Grupper and Mercedes and Jules Szymkowiak, the car that he will give to Tim Sugden for the second part of the race. So Maximilian Buch leading, and Weisser coming under pressure now. Alex Youn taking a tidier line there, and another good little fight goes on between Audi and BMW lower down the pecking order as they thread their way up now towards turn 15 on the inside line, coming under attack. He's number 19, the Shirosaka Audi, round the outside of him, almost goes, in fact, 91, Sean Walkinshaw, but then he found his passage blocked by Audi, and he's going to get mugged there by the Lamborghini that comes up to have a go. Aidan Reed, number 1 round, and Walkinshaw's got a problem, has he? He slows mid-corner. Yes, there's damage at the front. Little bit of smoke off the left front corner. That, I fear, a legacy of the tap into the back of the traffic ahead of him. Sean Walkinshaw carries on, but delayed, as you saw, and loses a whole heap of places. He was battling with his regular Super GT co-driver, Shinichi Takagi, at the end of yesterday's race. They crossed the line side by side virtually as they're running out wide is the 18 Audi, the champion car of Martin Rump, and losing out as Davidio Rizzo goes past him. Weisser defends the inside line on the run down towards first. Here comes Young in the Audi up the inside. He's got the line. Has he got the stopping power? He's through. He's wide. He is back down a place. Alex Youn brakes too late, up the inside and back through. Thank you very much, says Massimiliano Weisser. He braked as late as he dared and gave Alex Youn that invite up the inside, saying, OK, come on through, but you're never going to stop in time. Now, more battles. The S-Access Lamborghini almost gets lent on there. 4 of them going for the same bit of real estate. And the one in the midst of all of that, number 19 Audi of Shirosaka, is about to lose out because up the inside of him goes Aidan Reed, number 1 in the Lamborghini, goes through. Devon Modell at the back of this group now in the Porsche. He goes through as well. So number 19 Audi, the blue and white car, then losing 2 places. Shirosaka getting caught up behind number 390, which has also got itself to the head of this gaggle. So a good effort being put in at the moment by Urata. There's Picariello limping back to the pit. The second place GT4 battle being monstered from every angle. Lamborghinis flash past. First of all, the Sakamoto Porsche went through, and there, yesterday's winner, oh so close to getting into contact. Yuka Mitso round the outside of Eric Lowe. I thought for a moment there was going to be a touch between them. Here comes Devon Modell in the Craft Bamboo Porsche up the inside as well. He goes through. So you've got yesterday's top 2 cars running again together on the road, but now they are in 18th and 19th places. A lot of work still to be done. And look at the way that 39 Ferrari, they're in the same team, don't forget, is moving around the road a little bit now. Aguas likewise, but for different reasons. He's moving around because he's using all of the curb and everything is being thrown at this, whereas Max Weisser, looking in his mirrors, is feeling the pressure and the car getting a little bit nervous as he brakes late and the pressure is starting to tell. It won't be long, surely, before Aguas finds a way through. Down towards the hairpin and on the inside line, dives through Aguas. Is he going to go through? Yes, he is, for second place. Through he goes. Aguas goes through, uses all of the road. Does he go wide? Well, a little bit. That gives Weisser a chance to get back up on the inside, but it'll be the outside line for turn 3. Expect 38, the silver Ferrari, to gain the place here, and he does. Rui Aguas goes through. Aguas picks up the place, he goes second, and so now he is 8 seconds behind Maximilian Buch, and the pit window is open. Archie Lee falls off the lead lap. He's got work to do here, and he's straight into the fray. He has rejoined ahead of Rui Aguas, who will want to get past him. Archie Lee was involved in the incident at the start of yesterday's race that really did for the Ferraris. So through goes Aguas, gets through the traffic cleanly and quickly, and continues to try and press on and catch up to Maximilian Buch. He's not doing it at the moment, though. There's the pits. You can see who's coming down the pit road, and Weisser does go second. So Aguas is in after a great first stint. There he is to give way to Rino Mastronardi now, number 38 Ferrari down the pit road. And we have got 25 minutes of the race to go. It's flown by as the leader comes in then, almost at the end of the window. Perfectly timed this, right on the cusp. In comes Maximilian Buch, and Hunter Abbott has had a good car and a good lead presented to him. Now, don't forget, this car needs to wait for an extra 5 seconds because of its result of yesterday. There is Satoshi Hoshino turning out of turn number 1. And 38 Ferrari then is back on track. There you've got Richard Wee in the pink and white McLaren accelerating up from turn 1. The pit window is now closed, so if you're not in, you're in trouble. Are we going to get a change for the lead? And if not, what's the gap going to be? Let's see. There is the Ferrari in the background. So Rino Mastronardi comes through. There is Hunter Abbott in the lead of the race. So it is Mercedes ahead, but it looks as though there, yes, 39 Ferrari has jumped up into second, and up into third goes number 6. So 38, he's back down to 4th place. There it is. Rino Mastronardi in a car that Rui Aguas had brought up into second. He's back down to 4th. So the race order then at the end of 21 laps will be Hunter Abbott 999 in the lead. Second is going to be number 39 now, the Ferrari in the hands of Jiang Jin. In third place over the timing line should be there, 38 Rino Mastronardi. 4th, number 5 Marchi Lee. The leading 4 are covered by 9.5 seconds. The leading gap is 7.5 between the Ferrari there. You can see as up the inside goes Marchi Lee to try to take third away from Rino Mastronardi, who certainly gave him room there. And Lee comes through. Mastronardi looks back at the inside line as they head downhill. He's on the outside line for turn 3 though. Comes up, has a look, can he go all the way around the outside? Only at the last moment does he back out of it, and the cars work nose to tail through the corner. As we've got, very badly being held up there, Tim Sugden. Look at the amount of time he's lost while he's stuck behind the Cayman, which now darts out of the way, but that was Kyo Chang, I'm afraid, in the wrong place at the wrong time. Nothing deliberate about it, but that has certainly dealt Tim Sugden a very, very bad blow. The team car, here it is, Hunter Abbott leads the way. That last lap was a 43.8. The gap has been coming down a little between him and now Marchi Lee up into second place. So let's go to the pit lane and join Renai.
Great start, Maxi, great run. What are conditions like out there?
Pretty good. Car feels good. Had a good start, was immediately P1 before the first corner. I had to defend the first 3 laps because the tire pressures were not quite there yet. And then, yeah, because of P3 overall yesterday, we had a 5-second penalty today at the pit stop, so I pushed as hard as I could to make a gap to the guys behind, which I think was okay. We had a 13-second lead going into the pit. And yeah, now Hunter has to finish off the job.
Mastronardi, though, is back onto the tail of Marchi Lee, and as they come across the line, are they falling back? Yes, they are. The leading gap is up to 6.4 seconds, so if Mastronardi's going to get the place, he's going to do it now and get on with the job of catching the race leader. He can't afford to dilly-dally and battle. He does go through, but can he get the car stopped in time? Of course not. Deep into the corner, back up the inside goes Marchi Lee, and the second place fight continues. It's great to watch, but it's helping neither of them in terms of helping the race leader. At Grupper M, they must be delighted with this. It's exactly what they need. Mastronardi, were he to be ahead, probably could get away and do something about the lead gap. But for as long as he's stuck behind the Audi, it's very difficult indeed to see how it's going to change. Get this, Marchi Lee defends the inside line. To the outside goes the Ferrari. Can he duck up the inside? The problem is that you've got this little switchback of corners and the Ferrari not able to get the power down as readily as the Audi there. Climb uphill. The Ferrari is quick. Is there a gap on the inside? Yes! Not quite. Closes at the last minute. By the time Mastronardi had thought about it and committed, he'd virtually got to the turning point, so he had to back out of it, and Marchi Lee hangs on to the place. They pulled another 2 tenths back in the first sector, but then Hunter Abbott got away by 4 tenths in the middle sector. So Hunter Abbott is getting away because behind him they're so busy squabbling. Maximilian Buch looks as though he's done the job absolutely perfectly here for Hunter Abbott. He has given him a big lead, and then circumstances behind with this great fight for second place have really played into the hands of the Grupper M team. Down to Dunlop. Is this the chance to challenge on the outside line? Not really, and so Marchi Lee hangs on to it. What he's not doing is making mistakes and cracking under the pressure particularly, so Mastronardi can't harry him out of the way. Again, look at the speed the Ferrari has got. Goes to the inside line. Is this the moment he goes through? Yes, he's done it at long, long last. Rino Mastronardi goes through, finally dives up the inside, and he has done it. The timing line is about to be knocked off by Hunter Abbott. He goes through, and with less than a lap time left in the race, we're on the last lap. So Rino Mastronardi, 6.7 seconds back. He's finally made his way to second place, but there's no way he's going to catch the leader now. To the outside line comes Marchi Lee, all of this for second place. For the final time, they go into turn 1. Marchi Lee tries to duck up the inside coming out of the corner. Can't do that either. Nose to tail, they run downhill now. Through they come. Ferrari versus Audi, but all the while Hunter Abbott leads the way and is on target for a 3rd win of the championship. There's a 2nd win coming for Maximilian Buch. we have had 8 different winning combinations across the championship thus far. Are we going to have another one? Let's see. Through they come. Second and third, passing the stricken Porsche there. Hunter Abbott, the only man that's won twice this year. Maxi Buch is about to have a second win. Hunter a third. 2 with Maxi Buch, 1 with Maximilian Gertz. What a season Hunter Abbott is having. He also, on his wedding anniversary, had extra delight recently with the birth of a young daughter. Clara was welcomed to the world, and on the back of that and a race win this weekend, life is pretty good for championship leader Hunter Abbott, who will come through now to score a race win here at the Fuji Speedway. Hunter Abbott and Maximilian Buch win round 8 of the Blancpain GT Series Asia. He comes across the line to win for the Gruppa M Mercedes team. Second will go the way of who? It is Rino Mastronardi, just ahead of Marchi Lee. And then in 4th place, it is the 28 Ferrari that comes over the timing line in the hands of Hiroaki Nagai.
Okay, congratulations. That must have felt really good.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was great. Maxi handled over the car in a really good position, and all I had to do was just keep my head down and keep clean, basically. So, yeah, great. Absolutely great.
You had a good run too, didn't you, Maxi?
Yeah, it was good. I had a good start. Could go P1 before first corner. Then I tried to push as hard as I can to give him a comfortable lead, and that we are coming out on P1 after the pit stop because of the 5-second penalty from yesterday. And it worked out, yeah.
All right, enjoy that win. Congratulations. Back to you, David.
So Hunter Abbott and Maxi Buch, the race winners from Rino Mastronardi and Rui Aguas, with Marchi Lee and Sean Thong third. 4th goes to the Ferrari of Nagai and Sasaki from Jiang and Weiser, and Sugden and Shimkoviak 6th. Hoshino and Ara 7th ahead of Patel and Gilbert. The top 10 rounded out by the Young Audi, with in 13th place Liu and Rizzo ahead of Aidan Reid and Alberto Di Falco. And have a look down, because in 26th place on the next page is where you find the GT4 winning McLaren, and Richard Wee and Mok Weng Sun coming through victorious ahead of the Porsche of Zhang Can and Ringo Chong. So McLaren coming out on top in the GT4 fight at the end of a very lively 8th round of Blancpain GT Series Asia. And a third win for the championship leader Hunter Abbott, who leads his teammate out onto the podium, shakes hands with Ferrari and Audi opposition, and then the pair will stand on the podium as Ken Gokita of Pirelli steps forward now to hand over the trophies to our winning drivers. The Pirelli Motorsport Business Development Manager of Asia Pacific hands the trophies over to 3rd, to 2nd, and now to the race winners, to Maxi Buch and Hunter Abbott. And Stefan Rattel, the CEO of SRO Motorsports Group, is on hand to present the checks to those that are season-long entries. So $10,000 for the winners, $5,000 for second, $2,500 for the 3rd place team. And Stefan poses for photographs, and the drivers are now, I think, ready with the champagne. So the checks are put down, the trophies are stored safely, and Maxi Buch doesn't want to play, I don't think. He's a little bit reluctant, but eventually Hunter Abbott gets a face full of fizz, and he's going to have to join in, isn't he, to celebrate a 3rd win of the season in the Blancpain GT Series Asia.
Thank you, David. It has been an incredible weekend of racing here at Fuji Speedway. They've ticked the bucket off the list in terms of drama. We've had all sorts of weather and plenty of action. Some great racing out there. Next round is in Shanghai, China. Can't wait to see you then. On behalf of myself and the whole team, and David up there, goodbye.